Following the latest Minnesota Vikings win over the Buffalo Bills, there's still a couple of questions going around. Number one, this question gets old to me because yes, we saw all the tweets going out on Twitter. Chris Carter saying, the Vikings got their first big time win, that everybody's been clamoring for. Everybody shut up, that kind of a thing. But to me, there's still a reigning question, and I get asked this every single week by my own brother. He texts me because he never watches the games himself. He wants to know for me because I don't know. He's got actually a lot of things to do. He's getting married, so that's a good thing. Anyway, point is, he always asks me after the Vikings win, are they lucky or are they good? And I'm running out of things to tell him at this point, especially with how the Vikings have played, because I feel like there's two different schools of thought here when we consider this question. The first thing is, I think when you look at where the Vikings were last year in one-score games or less, they showed it on the graphic yesterday during the game. They were 6-8 last year. This year, they're 7-0. They're undefeated in games that are decided by 8 points or less. And really, I got to be honest with you, I do think it does come down to the reason that they are winning these games now. It's coaching. It is, I think it's execution in those key moments, and it's more of an emphasis, like they have really stated over the last couple of games. It's more of an emphasis in those couple, whether it's the right before halftime, the end of the second half, or the end of the second quarter, and really the end of the second half. It's execution in those key moments. And also, I really think this team has done a really good job of being able to take a serious look at itself and say, okay, we can't do anything about that rep. What's next? But if you look at, when we answer the question of if they're lucky or good, let's look back over the season, okay? So you have the win over the Packers here. Yes, it is what it is. They did their thing, whatever. Honestly, the Packers, they look like, Christian Watson caught 3 touchdowns yesterday. You never know with the Packers. I'm going to knock on wood. But the thing about it is, at the end of the day, the Packers are always going to be a threat to the Vikings. But the Vikings escaped with a win there, 23-7 week 1. Week 2, man, this team needed that loss. You talk about the fact that the Eagles, they're still the number one team in the NFC right now. They are tough on both sides of the football. They're a special team. And then you come back against the Lions. The Lions at one point were up, 45 seconds left, and then KJ Osborne caught that touchdown. Josh Metellus sealed it with that interception, okay? I think when we answer the question, lucky or good, a little bit of both, especially for the Vikings in all of these games, especially starting out with the Lions one. So, skill in terms of, or being good with that KJ Osborne touchdown with 45 seconds left. Maybe a little bit of luck with that interception by Josh Metellus at the end there. Also, the next week, the win over the Saints, the double doink, a little bit of luck, not going to lie to you. Because it looked like Lutz had that one for miles, but it just hit off the crossbar twice, and it is what it is there. Then the game against the Bears. That one, Cameron Dancer, the strip on Amir Smith-Marset, I might not never forget that one. I know he went on IR, but I'm excited for when he does get back. Then the Dolphins game. So, you have the ability to salt this game away at the very end there after the Dolphins kind of come storming back there, and it was kind of one of those things where you were a little nervous, but they were able to salt it away. I think that's just good coaching there. The Cardinals game, you talk about Za'Darius Smith and Harrison Phillips calling game. Everybody forgets about the fact that Harrison Phillips technically actually got the last sack there, even though Za'Darius Smith put pressure on him. So you talk about both those key players on defense calling game there. Then the game against the Commanders, you talk about the John Ridgeway penalty. A little bit of luck, but it was also the fact that the Vikings knew, and based on their coaching, they were able to execute the idea, okay, we have the ball inside their 10-yard line, and we have 1:12 left. They have one timeout, no timeouts left. If we run the ball 3 times this game and kick the field goal, this game is over. That's a better understanding of coaching. That's a better understanding of situational football and executing it. Now we go to the Bills game. I'm not going to lie, this probably was a little bit of luck because you drive all the way down there with, 50-some-odd seconds left and get stuffed at the 1-yard line. 1 yard. You can't get 1 yard, or basically a couple of inches if we're being honest. And you get stuffed at basically the 1-inch line, and Josh Allen and the Bills have the ball. Even though you were kind of thinking this one wasn't over, you were glued to the TV. And then Josh Allen misses the snap, and the Vikings fall on it. Eric Kendricks, you got to love it. So when we answer the question of lucky or good, by the way, then yes, obviously he threw the interception. So the Vikings were definitely in good position there. Patrick Peterson understanding the route concepts, and also at the end of the day, the Vikings jumping on it. So when we answer the question about are the Vikings lucky or good, I would say, I mean, it's both. Like, you have to have both in the NFL these days. I mean, when you guys watch America's game, how often do you look at teams that they start out red hot, they put up 30 points on a team or whatever it is, and then also sometimes they get a little bit of luck. I think it's both for the Vikings, and I think, again, it does come back to a better style of coaching, a better understanding in those critical key moments of, if we win in the final 2 minutes of the first half and then win in the final 2 minutes of the second half, we're going to win the game. And I think that's honestly what's been so huge for the Vikings this year. Also, Justin Jefferson, that catch was just wild. So I think the Vikings are heading it in the right direction. I think they got a big game this week against the Dallas Cowboys. They got to be able to take care of business and really find a way to keep this thing rolling, because this season's not over. Obviously the Eagles are still leading the division as of this morning before they play the Commanders on Monday Night Football, but overall, the season ain't over, and the Vikings, they got to keep it rolling. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think. Are the Minnesota Vikings lucky, or are they good?